What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Eddy Reynoso in the news as another fighter from his camp by the name of Francisco, can't think of his last name, tested positive for a banned substance. Not only do we have that in the news, but Oscar Valdez has now parted ways with Eddy Reynoso. I'm gonna go ahead and get into both articles. Let's talk about it. So shout out to what's that? Market.com. It says Eddy Reynoso makes drastic decision to avoid being dragged down by the doping rumors surrounding Canelo Alvarez. Eddy Reynoso, the acclaimed trainer behind boxing stars such as Canelo Alvarez and Oscar Valdez, who I actually just heard Oscar Valdez just left him, but I might get into that article. But anyways, it says is tightening control over his gym operations following a string of controversies involving performance-enhancing drugs. While Eddy Reynoso has not directly implicated, his name has been repeatedly surfaced in connections with fighters who tested positive for a banned substance, prompting calls for greater accountability from those overseeing elite athletes. It says most recently Jaime Munguia and Francisco Rodriguez. So that's the person who tested positive for a banned substance last week. I think Jaime Munguia's B sample just came in too. But anyways, it says most recently Jaime Munguia and Francisco Rodriguez have been at the center of PED's related headlines, reigniting scrutiny of Reynoso's training camp. Even though Reynoso wasn't officially responsible for either fighter's conditioning or medical regimen, the association was enough to raise eyebrows, especially given a previous incidents involving Canelo Valdez and Julio Cesar Martinez. In response to the ongoing speculation, Reynoso released a public statement aimed at clarifying his role in introducing a new safeguard within his gym. Starting now, I will be working 100% with the team that I can supervise, Reynoso said, according to a statement shared via Ring Magazine's social media account. Reynoso elaborated that until now, fighters under his wing often brought their own supporting staff, including the nutritionists, physical therapists, and medical consultants. This arrangement had its benefits, but also created challenges when things went wrong. After seeing his name dragged into the headlines despite not being hands-on in recent incidents, Reynoso decided that it was time for a systematic change. Work 100% with the team that I can supervise and manage, not because the other boxers have a bad team, but so that I have 100% of control of the boxers I'm going to be training, he clarified. Looking back at Valdez's 2021 failed test and subsequent title defense, Reynoso cited the ordeal as both a learning experience and a turning point. Though Valdez rebounded, the cloud of suspicion lingered. Now, what I'm going to do is get this advice and get a good nutrition team that is more attached to VADA, and that is closer to people who manage VADA and try to do things better, Reynoso explained. By aligning more closely with VADA, Reynoso is aiming to restore public trust and ensure his boxing stars stay clean. VADA is widely recognized for its rigorous independent drug test protocols and is often praised for holding athletes and teams to a higher standard. So, that's a good start to clean himself. At least to clean himself, because this is definitely too much. This is a 7th fighter that tested positive for a banned substance. You know what I'm saying? And that's ridiculous. So let me see here. But I believe I wanted to see. Okay, here we go. So shout out to Boxing Scene. It says Oscar Valdez parts ways with Eddy Reynoso, reunites with Manny Robles. Oscar Valdez will revisit his roots as it relates to his training team. The former 2-division titleist has confirmed a reunion with Manny Robles, his original trainer before a mid-career switch to Eddy Reynoso. Valdez announced the switch on Wednesday, more than 7 months after his last ring appearance. The move comes nearly 7 years after Valdez, a two-time Olympian for his native Mexico. I did not know Valdez was a two-time Olympian, bro. That's crazy. For his native Mexico. Joined up with Reynoso and his team as an unbeaten featherweight titleist. Their union extended through his past 11 fights, but now has come to an end. I want to thank Eddy Reynoso for the 6 years we worked together, Valdez announced, through his verified social media channels. The learning in the gym, his dedication, and his professionalism and ability to give me any type of PEDs that I want. No, I was just playing. He didn't say that part. He says, the learning in the gym, the dedication, and the professionalism in every camp, in every fight, as well as his advice. I have nothing but words of respect and gratitude, both personally and professionally, for Eddy Reynoso and his entire team. Now I will look for new challenges with Manny Robles, a coach I have worked with in my professional career, and set new challenges for myself. The move will see Valdez, who is 32-3 with 24 knockouts, join a red-hot stable that includes newly crowned WBA interim 168 titleist Armando Resendez, that's the guy who just beat Caleb Plant, if you don't know. Lineal WBO 115 queen, Miss. Listen, I'm gonna sound so wrong for this, and you guys may not like what I'm gonna say, but I don't give a damn about any fighter that weighs under 118 pounds. The only fighters, I don't even care about fighters that weigh 118 pounds. I only care, I really start paying close attention from 126 on up. I just find it so weird, and I know I'm going on a little rant here, but you guys need to hear. I find it so weird and creepy that a grown man could come in weighing at 112 pounds. Like, dude, I was that like in the freaking 3rd grade. Like, I don't know. I just think that that's so weird. These dudes look like little first graders fighting. I don't know. The only fighters that I cared about that was less than 126 pounds or 122 pounds, the only fighters that I paid close attention to, that I really adored, was Nonito Donaire and Guillermo Rigondeaux. And Bam, I will say, and Bam Rodriguez and Naoya Inoue. Them are the only fighters that I like pay attention to at those weight. I didn't care about what's the dude's name? Chocolatito. Dude was one of the most overrated fighters in the history of boxing, in my opinion. I'm sorry, dude was just so overrated. But besides those four, Bam Rodriguez, Inoue, Rigondeaux, and Nonito Donaire, I don't care about nobody that fights especially under one from 118 and below. I just don't, you know what I'm saying? 122, I dabble and dab. I like Stephen Fulton, you know what I'm saying? So I dibble and dab, but for the most part, I just think that it's weird to see a grown man being able to weigh it 112 pounds, 115 pounds. It's like crazy. But anyways, I had to go on that rant. But he also trains contender Soye Burachuk, who's actually a really good fighter at 154. Valdez has not fought since a repeated loss to reigning WBO 130-pound titleist Emmanuel Navarrete, who is, I got my own opinion about him, but their December rematch saw Navarrete manhandle his 34-year-old countryman en route to a one-sided 6-round knockout. It marked the first time Valdez was stopped through more than 12 years and 35 pro fights. Navarrete previously outpointed Valdez in their far more competitive August 2023 WBO 130-pound title fight. Valdez went 9-3 with 5 knockouts under Reynoso. Their journey began a few months after the unbeaten Valdez fought through a broken jaw to defend his WBC featherweight title in April 2018 victory over Scott Quigg. That was a good victory too. The highlight of their time together was Valdez's violent 10th round knockout over Miguel Burachuk. That was definitely like one of the knockout of the year, if not the knockout of the year. In February 2021, Valdez ended his countryman's lengthy WBC 130-pound title reign with the feat and instantly becoming the talk of the division. However, he was forced to fend off drug scandals just one fight later. Valdez tested positive for phentermine ahead of the September 2021 title defense against Robson Canseco, whatever, the dude that fought O'Shaquie. The scheduled bout headline an ESPN show from Valdez childhood hometown of Tucson, Arizona, but endured a swarm of negative press even after he was cleared of any wrongdoing by the Athletic Commission and the WBC. The fight moved forward, and Valdez claimed a 12-round unanimous decision to win his title. Okay, so this is going over there. All right, whatever. We got the victory. All right, we got the picture. Now, as far as Oscar Valdez go, I mean, listen, you got to do what you got to do. Obviously, Oscar Valdez hasn't been looking, as impressive. Hey, and is it me, or does Oscar Valdez always look sad, bro? Like, dude just always look like he's, like, about to start crying, bro. Like, I don't know. Every time I see Valdez, it looks like he's about to start crying, bro. But, whatever it takes, go back to your roots. He has to do what he has to do. I don't necessarily know, like, when a fighter is this late in their career, changing trainers to me just, it doesn't make me any more confident, except for, like, now I will say, I remember when Miguel Cotto changed and went to Freddie Roach, and he looked marvelous with that, but there was stipulations that came with that as well. But I don't know how much he can change, but hey, we'll see. If it makes him comfortable. You got to remember, boxing is a mental sport. So if he feels good, you feel good, you perform good, you look good. So, we'll see. We'll see. As far as Eddy Reynoso goes, man, listen, he definitely has to get some type of, he has to tighten up with his count, because this is ridiculous, bro. Like, 7 fighters, and I'm surprised that nobody else is really speaking on this as much, because, I mean, like, that is ridiculous. If it was anybody else, it's funny. When we have a trainer like Derek James, and his fighters are, losing. Ryan Garcia, Frank Martin, Errol Spence, they're losing. Even what's his name, Anthony Joshua. When they lose, it's like, okay, bro, what is going on with Derek James? His fighters are losing. Well, Eddy Reynoso trainer, all his fighters are tested positive. So when is the question marks going to be put on Eddy Reynoso? It's like all his fighters are tested positive for banned substance. At some point, somebody's going to have to come in and say something like, hey, we need to investigate this, because this is going on. This is 7 fighters. I've never heard of anything like that. And I don't think that he should get a pass for that. I think, it's cool that he came out and spoke on what he's going to do. But, I mean, what do you expect him to do? Do you really think he's going to come out and be like, yeah, I'm giving my fighters PEDs? No. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. What do you feel like should happen with Eddy Reynoso in this camp? But what do I know?